On October 31st, the Olympic torch came to the Hart University of East Anglia campus. It was greeted by a crowd of excited students. People were able to pose and have their picture taken with the torch, generating long queues and leaving people with a reminder that finally, the Olympics have arrived. But despite the popularity of the torch on the day, questions have been raised regarding the actual legacy the Games will leave in London, let alone the surrounding regions. We spoke to Norwich School Sports Partnership about the impact of sport on people's lives.
Obviously there'll be a huge focus on Olympics and sports during 2012, and I think the benefits will be seen for a number of years. Will sports profile be quite as high as it will be when we host the biggest event in the world? You know, maybe not, but I think it's about maximising the impact of the Olympics, and we're actually going into a decade of hosting a number of sports events in our country, which is excellent. We're quite unique as a host of the Olympics in that I think the strength of our bid is on the legacy that the Olympics will hopefully leave afterwards. There's been a huge engagement with young people through the educational Get Set education programme, using the Olympic Games as a tool to inspire young people to be more active, to learn a lot more about the countries taking part and the history of the Olympics, and just to raise that feel-good factor as well around the country and Norwich particularly during some relatively tough times.
Norfolk County Council told us about the Olympic-themed projects they run for children in the county.
It's been quite an interesting way of a bridge, if you like, into getting people into other areas. Dance Aloud, which was a project with young deaf children who choreographed their own performance. And we've also been working with a Zimbabwean Theatre for Development company called Grassroots, with whom we've developed a One World programme. And that's, I think, about 10,000 of our young people in Norfolk have participated in that so far.
So, both are upbeat about the impact their work will have, but the outlook for business seems somewhat gloomier. A representative from the County Council told us that only 4% of businesses registered for available grants, and 60% asked said they thought the Olympics would have no impact or in fact take customers away. So with just over 200 days to go, will the streets of Norwich remain empty?
Cities around the world have become targets of the current Occupy movement. Legal action was brought against Occupy London, while Occupy Wall Street has been cleared by riot police. However, Occupy Norwich has now been installed for several weeks and appears to be going strong. Will Hanford reports.
Haymarket Norwich has witnessed the construction of a campsite by anti-capitalist protesters. They're demonstrating against the current banking system and the unequal distribution of wealth. We've been finding out exactly what they hope to achieve.
The reason I'm here, certainly, is that I feel that we need some fundamental changes to the way our society is. You're probably aware it's a global movement, that there's something like between 800 and 1,500 cities around the globe have got an Occupy movement. It seems that our society has been getting a little bit worse rather than getting better over the past couple of decades, with the wealthy getting wealthier, while those at the bottom are expected to pay for the problems created by bankers. So what we want to do is speak to a lot of people and build a broad consensus. If you look at history, obviously our society has been arranged in lots of different ways at different times, and I think occasionally we need to have a reassessment of the fundamentals of society, and I think now is one of those times. I'll go away when I feel like I'm not improving things, or there's no hope that that's going to occur, but I'm hopeful.
What do you think of the fact they've set up right outside your shop?
It's not a big deal. They've got their own space, it's not really affecting anyone. They don't cause any trouble. They come in sometimes, some of them sit down. They don't ever buy anything, they just, sit down, it's cold. That's about it, yeah.
Well, the main goals of this protest appears to be raising awareness and generating some sort of debate. The banks have refused to comment on this, and Starbucks, an icon of capitalism, doesn't seem too fazed. Meanwhile, Carrie Wyth has been finding out what the public make of all this.
Do you think it will work? I think it's good to raise awareness of it.
I don't approve of the protest.
I'm all for freedom of speech and for people's right to demonstrate, but there are ways of doing it.
I think some people are against the fact that they wonder how these people have got the time to protest and when they're at work.
I think it's absolutely disgusting. And St Paul started it, Wall Street started it, and now it's spreading around the world. We even got it in Norwich. What difference is it going to make?
I think they've got good aims, but I don't know about how effective they will be.
Do you not think it will work?
I don't think it'll make any difference at all. I really, really don't.
So I doubt they will make a change themselves, but I think if they could spark some way of making a change.
It's not going to make a scrap of difference.
As we've seen, there are various opinions concerning this protest. However, regardless of what anyone thinks, morale is high, and this occupation is not being abandoned anytime soon.
An exciting new project that could have a lasting effect on our countryside is currently taking place across the country. The Queen Elizabeth II Fields Challenge aims to preserve 2012 open spaces for a century. Laura Sago reports.
The Queen Elizabeth II Fields Challenge is a nationwide initiative that is designed to celebrate the Queen's Diamond Jubilee and the arrival of the 2012 Olympics in London. The project allows members of the public to nominate open spaces that they wish to be protected for 99 years. 2012 spaces will be chosen to receive the reward.
Now we are joined by Fields and Trust Regional Manager Mark Healy, who is involved in the Queen Elizabeth II Field project. So Mark, could you please tell us a bit more about the challenge and your role?
Sure. Essentially, it's a legacy project to celebrate both the Diamond Jubilee and the Olympic and Paralympics for next year. So we're approaching all landowners across the United Kingdom to nominate their sites to become a QE2 field. Right. We did this once before when the Olympics last come to London in 1948 to commemorate King George V. We protected 500 sites back then. This time around, bearing in mind it's 2012, we're going to aim to protect 2012 sites across the UK.
We are now joined by Adrian Ramsey, Deputy of the Green Party, telling us why he thinks it is important to save open spaces.
I think playing fields are really important for local communities, for people to have exercise for their general well-being, and of course it's really important for wildlife and the natural environment that we protect open spaces and the countryside. So we'll certainly be working alongside any scheme that wants to protect green spaces, and I'm really pleased that there's such interest in it from Norfolk residents.
Adrian Ramsey tells us how we can continue to make the scheme successful.
I think it's really important that people nominate spaces they want to protect as playing fields or as natural spaces for the environment. They can do it through this project, they can do it through the local councils. We just need to take steps to make sure that we are protecting these spaces for the future.
Now, one other question is, why should people be worried about protecting their green open spaces?
There's a statistic that's 50 playing fields each year being lost to development. And we're crucially aware that green open spaces are the heartbeat of local communities. The other reason why people should nominate their sites is that there's some development funds open to each of these open spaces, up to £80,000 to develop both sporting facilities or community facilities. So two real reasons: one to save and two to develop.
This tree has stood here for many years and could stand here for a further 99 years if people continue to nominate and vote for open spaces in their local area. The competition continues into mid-2012, so there's plenty of time to get involved.
That's it from Norfolk Now. Good night.
Good night.
Chit-chat?
Yeah.
Chit-chat chemistry?
Yes, absolutely. Fantastic.